Okay.
So beautiful view on the V16, the high performance inverter for the electric motor in the back, and then the big exhaust system. But what you can't see now when you have the rear clamshell on is that the rear...
Have you ever imagined one of the world's greatest luxury car brands suddenly standing on its own after losing the powerful company that helped rebuild it for nearly 30 years? It sounds like the beginning of a disaster, but for Bugatti, it could become the star of one of the biggest comeback stories in automotive history. For decades, Bugatti enjoyed the support of the Volkswagen Group, with Porsche playing an important role in its success. That support gave the company the money, technology, and confidence to build some of the most incredible hypercars ever made, including the legendary Veyron and the record-breaking Chiron. These cars didn't just break speed records. They became symbols of engineering excellence and luxury that only a handful of people in the world could afford. But now everything has changed. Porsche has decided to step away from Bugatti Rimac, ending a partnership that many believed would last for years to come. At first, this news shocked car enthusiasts around the world. Many people wondered if Bugatti was in trouble. Others feared that without the financial strength of Volkswagen and Porsche, the famous French brand would struggle to survive in an industry that is changing faster than ever before. But instead of slowing down or hiding from the challenge, Bugatti has done something completely unexpected. The company has opened a brand new production facility, introduced an astonishing new flagship hypercar called the Tourbillon, and entered a bold new chapter under the leadership of mate Rimac and a new group of financial investors. Rather than looking like a company preparing to fade away, Bugatti now appears more determined than ever to prove that it can succeed without relying on one of the world's biggest automotive groups. This dramatic change has sparked countless discussions among industry experts, collectors, and car fans. Is Bugatti making the smartest decision in its modern history, or is it taking the biggest risk the company has ever faced? Can a legendary brand maintain its reputation while operating without the safety net of a massive industrial parent? Will the new ownership structure give Bugatti the freedom to innovate in ways that were impossible before, or will financial pressure force the company to become more cautious than ever? These questions have become the center of attention as Bugatti enters one of the most important moments in its long and remarkable history. What makes this story even more fascinating is that it isn't simply about selling expensive cars. It is about leadership, innovation, business strategy, technology, and the challenge of protecting a legendary brand while preparing for a future filled with electric vehicles, stricter regulations, and changing customer expectations. Every decision Bugatti makes from this point forward could influence not only its own future, but also the direction of the entire hypercar industry. The company now has an opportunity to prove that independence can become a strength rather than a weakness. At the same time, one wrong move could place decades of prestige and history at risk. As the world watches closely, Bugatti is preparing to write a completely new chapter that could become either one of the greatest success stories in automotive history or one of its biggest lessons. The journey begins with one surprising decision that changed everything: Porsche's quiet exit and the events that followed, setting Bugatti on a path that nobody expected. For nearly 3 decades, Bugatti enjoyed something that very few luxury car brands ever experience: a powerful and wealthy parent company willing to support even the most expensive engineering dreams. When the Volkswagen Group brought Bugatti back to life in the late 1990s, the goal was never just to make another sports car. The company wanted to create the greatest hypercar in the world, no matter how difficult or expensive the journey became. That vision led to legendary machines like the Veyron and later the Chiron, cars that pushed the limits of speed, technology, and luxury. Behind every record-breaking Bugatti stood the financial power and engineering resources of one of the world's biggest automotive groups. Porsche also became an important part of this story through Bugatti Rimac, helping guide the company while sharing knowledge, technology, and long-term business support. Because of the strong foundation, many people believe Bugatti would remain under protection of Volkswagen and Porsche for many more years. That is why news of Porsche's decision to sell its stake came as such a surprise. Unlike many corporate separations, there was no public scandal, no major disagreement, and no dramatic failure that forced the companies apart. Instead, the decision reflected something much simpler but equally important: the changing financial realities facing the global automotive industry. During the past few years, many major car manufacturers have found themselves under increasing pressure. The cost of developing electric vehicles has grown rapidly. Competition has become much stronger, and customer demand has shifted in unexpected ways. Companies that once believed electric cars would immediately dominate the market discovered that many buyers still prefer traditional gasoline-powered vehicles. At the same time, sales slowed in important markets, such as China, where many global manufacturers had expected continued growth. These challenges forced companies like Porsche to take a careful look at every investment they owned, rather than expanding into new projects. Executives began focusing on protecting their most profitable business areas. Porsche's core sports cars and luxury SUVs generate most of the company's revenue, making them the highest priority during uncertain economic times. In comparison, Bugatti is an extremely exclusive brand that produces only a tiny number of vehicles each year. Although every Bugatti sells for millions of dollars and brings enormous prestige, the brand was never designed to generate the same level of income as Porsche's larger product lineup. As a result, Bugatti became one of the investments Porsche decided it could step away from while concentrating on its primary business goals. This decision should not be mistaken as a sign that Bugatti was failing. In fact, there is little evidence suggesting that Porsche lost confidence in Bugatti's engineering abilities or future potential. Instead, the sale reflected a broader strategy to simplify operations, reduce financial commitments, and strengthen Porsche's position during a period of rapid change across the automotive industry. Looking at the situation from this perspective completely changes the story. Rather than abandoning a struggling company, Porsche was making a practical business decision based on its own financial priorities. For Bugatti, however, this marked the beginning of a completely new era. Without the backing of Volkswagen and Porsche, the company would need to prove that it could stand on its own. It would no longer have access to the unlimited financial safety net that had supported some of the world's most ambitious engineering projects. Every future decision would carry greater importance because success and failure would depend much more on Bugatti's own leadership, planning, and execution. While this change created uncertainty, it also opened the door to something that had been impossible under a large corporate structure: true independence. For the first time in decades, Bugatti had the opportunity to shape its own future without answering to one of the world's largest automotive groups. Whether that freedom would become the company's greatest strength or its biggest challenge remained the question everyone wanted answered. VidIQ, Porsche's departure marked the end of one important chapter, but it also opened the door to a completely different future for Bugatti. Instead of being purchased by another giant car manufacturer, the company's ownership structure took a surprising direction. The shares sold by Porsche were acquired by a group of private financial investors led by HOF Capital, with Blue 5 Capital becoming one of the largest investors involved in the deal. At first, this news raised concerns among many automotive fans. They wondered whether financial investors would truly understand a company like Bugatti. After all, Bugatti is not an ordinary business that focuses only on profits. It is a brand built on history, engineering excellence, and the dream of creating the world's most extraordinary automobiles. Some people feared that investors would care more about making money than preserving the identity that made Bugatti famous. However, there was another part of the ownership change that gave many enthusiasts hope. While financial investors would provide the funding, operational control would move fully into the hands of Rimac Group, led by its founder and CEO, Mate Rimac. For many people in the automotive world, Mate Rimac represents a new generation of innovators. He started his company from humble beginnings with a vision of building some of the fastest and most advanced electric hypercars ever created. Over the years, Rimac earned respect by proving that a young company could compete with manufacturers that have been building cars for more than a century. His success attracted partnerships with some of the biggest names in the automotive industry, and his reputation for combining bold ideas with practical engineering made him one of the most influential people in modern performance car development. This made Bugatti's new ownership structure very different from its previous one. Instead of being guided by a massive corporate organization with layers of management and long decision-making processes, Bugatti would now operate under a leader known for moving quickly, embracing innovation, and taking calculated risks. That change allowed the company to react faster to new technologies and changing customer expectations. Decisions that might once have taken months could now happen much more efficiently. Engineers would likely enjoy greater freedom to explore new ideas without navigating the complex approval systems often found inside large multinational corporations. At the same time, this new independence also brought significant responsibility. Under Volkswagen and Porsche, Bugatti had access to enormous financial resources. If development costs increased or projects took longer than expected, the parent companies had the ability to absorb those extra expenses. Under the new ownership model, every investment will be watched much more carefully. Financial backers naturally expect their money to generate results. They're willing to support ambitious projects, but they also want clear progress and responsible spending. This creates a very different environment from the one Bugatti had known for decades. The company now has greater freedom to make its own choices, but every choice must also make good business sense. In many ways, Bugatti is entering unfamiliar territory. Very few hypercar manufacturers operate with this combination of private investment and founder-led management. Most famous luxury brands, such as Lamborghini and Bentley, continue to benefit from the support of large automotive groups with vast engineering networks and financial resources. Bugatti's new position is much more independent, making its future both exciting and unpredictable. Some experts believe this freedom could unleash a wave of creativity unlike anything the company has experienced before. Others worry that without the protection of a large parent company, even small mistakes could become expensive problems. The truth is that no one knows exactly how this bold experiment will unfold. What is clear, however, is that Bugatti is no longer simply following the path set by Volkswagen and Porsche. It is beginning to create its own identity for the future, combining the legendary heritage of one of the world's greatest luxury car brands with the fresh energy and ambitious vision of a young company determined to reshape the future of high-performance automobiles. This new leadership is already proving that it has no intention of playing it safe, and the first visible sign of that ambition would soon appear in France, where Bugatti unveiled a remarkable new home built specifically for the next generation of automotive excellence. vidIQ. One of the clearest signs that Bugatti is serious about its future is not a new advertisement or a bold promise from its leadership. It is a brand new factory built to support the company's next generation of hypercars. While many people expected Bugatti to become more careful after Porsche's departure, the company did exactly the opposite. Instead of slowing down its investments, Bugatti revealed an impressive new production facility known as La Manufacture, located in Moutier, France, the historic home of the brand for more than a century. This location is not just another industrial site. It is the birthplace of Bugatti's legendary history, where founder Éric Bugatti built some of the world's most beautiful and innovative automobiles. By choosing to expand in the same historic location, the company sent a powerful message to customers, collectors, and competitors alike. Bugatti was not leaving its heritage behind. Instead, it was building its future on the same foundation that made the brand famous in the first place. The new factory has been carefully designed to blend modern technology with the rich history surrounding it. Rather than constructing a giant industrial building that would dominate the landscape, Bugatti worked to create a facility that respects the beauty of the historic estate, while providing everything needed to build one of the most advanced hypercars ever created. Every detail reflects the company's belief that craftsmanship remains just as important as cutting-edge engineering. Inside La Manufacture, advanced production methods work alongside highly skilled technicians who assemble each vehicle with incredible precision. Unlike mass-market car factories that produce thousands of vehicles every week, Bugatti continues to focus on quality over quantity. Every component receives careful attention. Every surface is inspected multiple times, and every stage of production is completed to exceptionally high standards. The new facility handles many important stages of vehicle preparation, including body assembly, interior fitting, paint inspection, polishing, and detail quality control before the cars move to the final assembly area. This combination of modern manufacturing technology and traditional hand craftsmanship allows Bugatti to maintain the exclusivity and perfection that customers expect when purchasing a multi-million-dollar automobile. Another important goal of the new factory is increasing production capacity. Although Bugatti will always remain an exclusive manufacturer, La Manufacture allows the company to build more vehicles than before while maintaining the same extraordinary level of quality. According to the company's plans, production capacity can reach approximately 200 vehicles each year. That number may seem incredibly small compared to companies like Toyota or Ford, which build thousands of cars every day. But in the world of ultra-luxury hypercars, it represents a significant step forward. Every Bugatti requires months of careful assembly, testing, and finishing, making speed far less important than perfection. The timing of the factory's opening also carries great symbolic importance. It arrived during a period when many people questioned whether Bugatti could remain strong without the support of Volkswagen and Porsche. Rather than responding with words alone, the company responded with action. Building an entirely new production facility requires enormous confidence, significant financial investment, and a clear long-term vision. It tells the world that Bugatti is not preparing to survive. It is preparing to grow. The factory also represents much more than bricks, glass, and steel. It serves as a physical symbol of Bugatti's transformation into a more independent company. Every vehicle that leaves La Manufacture will represent not only engineering excellence, but also proof that Bugatti believes its future can be just as successful without relying on a massive automotive group. This bold investment demonstrates that the company's leadership is thinking years ahead rather than focusing only on today's challenges. More importantly, the factory has been built with one very specific purpose in mind: producing a revolutionary new hypercar that many experts already believe could become one of the greatest engineering achievements in Bugatti's long history. That car is a tourbillon, a machine designed to redefine what a modern hypercar can be while proving that Bugatti's biggest comeback has only just begun. As impressive as Bugatti's new factory is, it exists for one main reason: to build a car that represents the company's future. That car is a Bugatti tourbillon, a hypercar that is far more than just a replacement for the legendary Chiron. It is a bold statement about where Bugatti is heading in a rapidly changing automotive world. At a time when many manufacturers are moving toward fully electric vehicles, Bugatti has chosen a different path. Instead of abandoning the excitement of a powerful gasoline engine, the company has combined traditional engineering with modern hybrid technology to create something that feels both timeless and revolutionary. At the heart of the tourbillon is an all-new naturally aspirated V16 engine developed with the help of Cosworth, one of the world's most respected engineering companies. Unlike turbocharged engines that rely on forced air to produce more power, a naturally aspirated engine delivers its performance in a smooth and direct way that many driving enthusiasts believe creates a more exciting and emotional experience. Bugatti could have chosen a simpler solution by using a smaller turbocharged engine or switching completely to electric power, but instead it invested years of research into creating an engine unlike anything currently offered by its competitors. That decision alone shows the company's commitment to preserving the emotional experience of driving while still embracing the future. Working together with 3 powerful electric motors, the tourbillon produces an astonishing combined output of around 1,800 horsepower. This incredible amount of power places it among the most powerful production cars ever created. Yet Bugatti insists that raw speed was never the only goal. The company wanted to create a machine that feels alive, one that delivers both breathtaking performance and an unforgettable driving experience. Every part of the car reflects this philosophy. The design is elegant rather than aggressive, combining smooth lines with carefully shaped aerodynamic surfaces that improve stability at extreme speeds. Inside the cabin, Bugatti has taken an unusual approach by focusing on craftsmanship instead of covering every surface with digital screens. The dashboard features beautifully designed analog instruments inspired by luxury Swiss watches, giving the driver a sense of timeless elegance rather than overwhelming them with technology. One of the most talked about details is the unique analog horsepower display, which uses separate needles to show the power coming from the electric motors and the gasoline engine. This small feature perfectly represents the tourbillon's overall philosophy, bringing together the best of the past and the future in one extraordinary automobile. The exclusivity of the tourbillon is just as remarkable as its engineering. Bugatti has announced that only 250 examples will ever be produced, making ownership extremely rare even among wealthy collectors. With a price exceeding $4 million before customization, the tourbillon is one of the most expensive production cars in the world. Yet despite its enormous price tag, every planned unit was spoken for before regular production even began. That incredible demand proves that there is still a strong market for ultra-exclusive hypercars built with passion, craftsmanship, and engineering excellence. Collectors are not simply buying transportation. They are investing in a piece of automotive history that may never be repeated. For Bugatti, the Tourbillon is much more than a new model. It is proof that the company still has the confidence to dream big even after losing the backing of Volkswagen and Porsche. The success of this car will play a major role in shaping Bugatti's future. If it performs as expected and continues to attract buyers around the world, it will show that the brand can thrive as an independent company guided by mate Rimac and supported by its new investors. More importantly, it will demonstrate that innovation does not require sacrificing heritage. The Tourbillon stands as a symbol of courage, combining legendary craftsmanship with advanced technology in a way that few companies would dare attempt. It is the first major product of Bugatti's new era, and its success could determine whether this bold comeback becomes one of the greatest stories in automotive history or one of its biggest challenges.